Dr. Judy Morgan.
Shoulders. Morning, Joyce. It's all the usual suspects. Thanks for joining us. Yes, I'm late. Not because I haven't been up for a long time, just doing other stuff. Well, not as bad as yesterday when we were up at 4.
You can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back.
Morganites. Oh, goodness. So, what? Shoot. Sorry, I forgot that automatically goes on replay now.
I'll look at that and see if we can change that.
I don't know. So, sorry we weren't on yesterday. We were up at 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Pretty much everybody in the house. Just one thing after another. So, retirement. You know, when my mom retired, 25 years ago? Ish. Right after she retired, she said, I don't know how I had time to work because I am so busy. I don't know how I ever had time to go to the office. I am so crazy busy. And I guess part of it is, well, the summit took up a lot of time last weekend, but part of it is also I have enough followers now that the number of messages and emails and questions just and our online consultations are also really exploding. And I can only do so many in a week without my brain exploding because the consultations are almost, if retirement means more stuff.
How long does it take to do a consultation?
So the consultations are almost always chronic problems that, you know, people haven't been able to get solved. And Gwen made a post on her page the other day that said, you know, my mom takes these cases where, you know, many good veterinarians have looked at them and haven't been able to figure them out. And within, you know, a couple of hours, she's got an answer. And, you know, it's really just by applying the Chinese medicine principles and really looking at the constitution and personality of the animal and what's out of whack. That's what really does help. But consultations take so much time. So because I'm doing a lot of them, it's kind of killing me. Like I have one sitting in my inbox right now that probably has 450 pages of records. So I have to read through all of that and make my notes to start with. Then I get online and talk to the person, which I have to say the Zoom calls are working really well for that because I actually can see the animal and talk to the person and ask a lot more questions. So I'm liking it a lot better than just phone calls. And I had one the other day, again, with like 400 pages of records. And in my mind, I had an idea what I thought it was. And then after I talked to the owner and saw the animal, I said, oh my gosh, totally different. It was a totally different problem. And the animal's personality was actually different than what I had gotten from reading the owner's notes. So talking to them was really good. So I think we have a good direction to go now. But after we finish our conversation, then there's still a lot more work because I have to put all those notes together, get them back to the owner, get the recording back to the owner, get everything to Gwen. She has to put it in our Google document drive. There's just a lot that goes into it. So I'm thinking, 5 or 6 consultations a week. That's like 5 or 6 hours of work. That'll be no big deal. No, it's like 30 hours of work.
Well, and apart from what you give them face to face, what do they receive at the end of that consultation for their records?
Well, at the end of the consultation, they get the recording of,
Which is huge.
and then my notes from the consultation as well. So anyway, it's taking a lot more time than what I had originally thought. And for some reason, out of the woodwork have come reporters and friends and, magazines asking for articles and blogs. And I have a stack that I have to write.
They know you're retired. You have the time.
Right. Everybody knows I'm retired and I have more time to do this stuff. So, and I had this great idea. How do you get a consultation? You email consult@drjudymorgan.com. What was I going to say? So I've got this stack of articles that I have to write. And one of them wants, high quality pictures of animals getting acupuncture. I'm like, I don't even have a practice anymore. I guess I'm going to have to do acupuncture on our animals and have you take pictures, which George could use some. So that's okay. But it's, it's a little crazy. And I had this idea when I retired, like, oh, good, I'll catch up on the blogs on my website and I'll be able to write 1 or 2 a week. Well, a good blog takes about 6 hours to write. So, that's basically a day. And I think I've written 1. Again, I'm like, this is great. I can educate more people. I can get more stuff out there, more information. Distemper vaccine, could I discuss? Sure. I've got a bunch of, Nancy Marie, I've got a bunch of blogs on vaccines. I would recommend going to the website, drjudymorgan.com, and just putting in vaccines in the search bar and see what comes up. And so just to, add a little more excitement on top of all of that, as of night before last, we have a full price offer on our house, but those people are a little nuts and they want us out of here by December 4th. That's 2 weeks. Do you see these shelves behind me? That's just a small smattering of what our house looks like, full of stuff that, really? You want me to pack all that up? And by the way, we have nowhere to go. Our barn's not finished, so we don't have room for horses and chickens yet. We haven't even talked to moving companies yet. We haven't even ordered all the boxes and bubble wrap to start packing everything. And by the way, over the weekend, we think we have 2 more offers coming in. We're hoping that one of them will be a little more reasonable and say maybe by the end of December. Give us a month anyway. So it's consult@drjudymorgan.com. I can type that in. Yeah, Dr. Judy. I forget that I can do these things. Oh, man. And somebody asked me the other today, I got an email that somebody said their vet was really was interested in learning more about holistic things. And what I recommend is start with my From Needles to Natural book. A lot of people have given it to their vets as gifts. And it's funny, some of you on here have walked into veterinary offices to interview a new holistic vet, and the holistic vet pulls out that book. And that's when you found somebody who at least is going to speak the same language as you. But I think we are... Oh, we're decided Susie's not getting more acupuncture until the itchy settle down the Chinese herbs. Those people are unreasonable. Oh, poo. Yeah. All vets are different. It's a frustration. Okay. I got to go get to work. We haven't even fed the dogs yet. There's just so much going on. Oh, and I went out back this morning to take the dogs out, and the little mini horses had opened their gate, and we're in our dog backyard, our backyard, instead of their backyard. They spent the night eating our lawn. Just for more excitement. You have dear friends looking at homes to move North Carolina, so you'll be visiting the area, and you have to leave New Jersey. Can't afford to stay. Yeah, Carol, we feel the same way. And let me tell you, houses in North Carolina on the east side of Raleigh, where we're looking to go, we're looking for a small house that we can buy and move into while our house hasn't even been started and won't be ready till like June or July. So we have to move twice. We contacted our realtor down there, and we're looking at houses, and literally anything that's in the lower end of the price range, it goes up, and in 2 hours it's under contract. These houses are flying, absolutely flying. And our house here is not cheap, and we're getting multiple offers. Everybody's on the move. Everybody's on the move. The interest rates are low. People are getting out of the cities. It's really, yeah. So these are the books, From Needles to Natural, and Yin and Yang, Nutrition for Dogs. The books are on our website. They're also on Amazon. I actually have 4 books. These are the 2 that we talk about the most. So is Baby Doc taking over both? Not Baby Doc, Sheila. She's kind of our teenage doc. She's been with me for like 5 years. She bought both practices, and Baby Doc, Dr. Bowling, stayed on with her as well. And they have 2 other part-time veterinarians who are helping them out. One is Dr. Self, who has worked in our Pennsville practice off and on. She sold her practice years ago, and so she's worked for us off and on for 6 or 7 years. So tons of experience. She doesn't do the holistic stuff, but tons of experience with surgery and internal medicine. And then they have another doctor, Dr. Knight, who actually does almost all the veterinary work for Monkey's House now. Anything that's not done in our office. And she's doing surgery for them. So yes, Gwen, right now it's about a 2-week delay, but changes daily. And honestly, if we have to pack and get out of this house in 2 to 3 weeks, I might have to put consultations. I might need to take a week in there and not do them so that I can pack up this house. So it's a little crazy. Oh my gosh, Patty Bernard, you live in Ohio, just sold your house. It never even made it to the market, sold before listing. Yeah, and we're seeing that. I mean, we get notices coming soon. And then by the time it comes, it's already sold. Or like I just looked at one today. Yesterday or the day before, it said it was coming next week and the price would be $250. Came out this morning that they already listed it. They're not waiting till next week, and they already went to $260. It'll be sold before they were actually going to list it. So it's craziness right now, total craziness. But we can't rent. We have 5 dogs, 3 cats, chickens, horses. We got to buy. So am I still helping at Monkey's House? My help at Monkey's House for quite a while has been a lot of texting with Michelle. I have seen some of the animals at my office, but so have my other doctors. The Monkey's House dogs are incredibly well cared for. They have a whole slew of veterinarians behind them. So I'm still the CMO, the chief medical officer there. So, oh yeah, Carol, your house will sell like lightning. So be prepared, because you're going to get somebody who says you got to be out of here in a week. That's literally what's going on right now. People are making cash offers and they're moving fast. We got all these millennials who we've got millennials who have been saving up and are finally said, wow, the interest rates are good, we can afford to do this. And then in our case, a lot of people that have looked at our house have been people coming from the cities wanting to get out, but they want to be close enough to Philadelphia or Wilmington to be able to do the commute. So yeah, friend sold hers for overlist in Philly. Well, I mean, get a portable folding house delivered. I didn't know they made those.
They do.
Hugh says they do. I don't think, well, our property. So here's the thing with COVID. The transformer to put electric on our property is on back order for 2 months. So we won't even have electric on the property till February. We can put generators. We're going to have our animals there sooner than that. We're going to get a generator maybe, or a lot of lanterns or solar lights. I don't even know. We haven't figured that out. We're probably going to have to get a huge old water barrel, something, rain on demand. I don't know. We got to get a bunch of water delivered to the farm too, because we don't have a well yet. So for the animals. So Beth says, I wish I had that problem. Condos in my building take 9 months to a year to sell. Well, you're kind of sort of in the city. 2020, only 1 condo in your building sold, and there's 9 for sale. That's amazing. And you're directly on the beach at Miami. Well, that's a good part. So, yeah, it's a little nuts. Didn't think we'd be in this position. But who knows? We may sell overlist too with what's coming in this weekend. I don't know. Basically, whoever makes us the offer that works the best for us is who's going to get this. But Hugh and I are going to order boxes and bubble wrap today. Oh, and by the way, can I ask for some prayers for Hugh? Because he is having a Mohs surgery today, MOHS, for a cancerous thing on his forehead, which I kept looking at and saying, honey, that doesn't look good. Honey, that doesn't look good. Honey, you need to go to the dermatologist. He finally went and they went, oh. So it's basically a procedure where they dig out the mass. It's right up here. They dig out the mass. And they do basically the biopsy and look at the cells immediately, so they know whether they have clean margins. So I don't know how big a hole he's going to have in his forehead.
I got a big hole in my head, darling.
He says he has a big hole in his head. It's going to be bigger. Hopefully no more brains will leak out, because we're getting to that age group where we can't afford to lose any brain cells. So yes, everybody, think some good thoughts for Hugh, because we need that in the middle of everything else that we're doing right now. But we'll get back to being a little more educational next week. Today I'm just ranting. And supporters, I posted, we are going to do an Ask Me Anything on Sunday at 6:30. I did not post it as a Zoom because, well, we know what happened there. If you guys would prefer it to be a Zoom, then everybody needs to email me or Gwen with your email addresses, and we can send a private link to your email, and we could potentially do it as a Zoom.
Let's do it as
a
live this time around.
Yeah. So we shall see. We'll see how that goes. But if you'd rather have Zooms, then you all have to email and say that that's what you want, so that we can put together a group that we can email individually. Okay. Bye, guys. How about closing music? Well, you're probably going to get intro music again. Something like that. There you go. I can't even see what's going on. Everybody have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. We're having a crazy day. Just one of many. This laugh is crazy. Keep smiling, folks. Keep smiling. Yeah, Deb, I have your email. Sunday works well. Yeah, I know Friday nights are really good, but with Hugh's surgery, we don't even know what time he's getting home tonight. And tomorrow, we're actually going to meet Hugh's new baby granddaughter, who's 6 weeks old already, that we haven't met. We're doing an outside pre-Thanksgiving cookout with his two daughters. And so, best we can do. Outside social distance pre-Thanksgiving cookout, meet the new baby. Life's unusual at the moment. That's the best I'm going to say. It's unusual.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website.
Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Dr. Judy Morgan.
Supporters, see you Sunday.
It's time to sit back, relax,